Be happy. Enjoy it.
Become one of the
millions
of people that follow us on Facebook. Beer Belly Sports. One of the best podcasts in the world. Kind of. It's just another half-ass Beer Belly Sports Show. Beer Belly Sports Show. Get it while it's hot. Beer Belly Sports Show. Well, it's kind of not. Beer Belly Sports Show. I'm making this up. Beer Belly Sports Show. And song ends now.
Slow moving.
What?
Inattentive.
What?
Dull.
What?
Shows a lack of motivation.
What?
Constantly snacking.
It's funny because he's fat.
Just your thoughts on being eliminated from the playoffs second year in a row. And
I don't know, what are your thoughts?
Well, I thought it was kind of a different season.
Yeah.
Did you agree with that?
Yeah, pretty good.
Have you heard anything about your job status, and what are your thoughts just on the rumors?
No, I haven't heard anything about my job status. I haven't heard anything about yours either.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, I love Chipotle. Chipotle is my life.
These Canadians ain't got a care in the world.
Yeah, and how about the way they cheat at the World Series, huh? That's our game, people.
That is
huh?
I'll tell you another thing, the beer sucks.
I'll never drink another beer.
Beer here.
I'll take 10.
You and your mom are hillbillies.
We're coming now, buddy. We on our horses. Regulators, mount up. We're coming.
Shoot Towns against Valanciunas into the paint. Oh, a fistful of jersey. Counted and one!
Great cash, homie.
Rogers back to pass. Under duress. Sacked! It's another safety, and it's Garrett Allen!
How much postage does it take to send a letter to Canada?
Who's it going to?
Canada. It says, Dear Canada, you.
Coming to you live from Bemidji, Minnesota. If you don't know where that is the home of Paul Bunyan and Babe, the big blue ox. I'm Matt Geffrey, alongside the one and only, the Minnesota dad himself. Oh, shoot, sorry.
Oh, my God. You can't even turn... Oh, my.
Now I feel bad because I done messed up, bud.
Because you're a piece of shit?
Sorry. We're being fueled by 7th Ave Pizza. 7th Ave Pizza. Before pizza became trendy. Oh, my God. I had the bacon cheeseburger pizza, and it was elite.
Elite?
It was very elite.
Spell elite.
E-L-I-T-E.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, thank you for
that. South Dakota education coming through.
Yeah, here we go.
What?
Don't ask me to spell anymore because I will fail.
Okay.
So there's that. Anyways, we're also being sponsored by Herbs and Gerbs here in Bemidji as well, too. So thank you so much for Herbs and Gerb. One of my all-time favorites is, of course, the Eruptor. That is, I don't know, it's been one of my favorites for a very long time. So there's that.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Well, I have, because I have posted it on numerous of Facebook pages in the past. Or not Facebook, but on Twitter in the past. So.
Oh, really?
There's that. So,
well, there we go.
There we go. I'm trying to check. There's like three or four things that are happening right now. We're all trying to do everything at once. And so far, it's going not that bad. Later on in the show, we are going to have the man, the myth, the legend, the Minnesota sports governor himself, Vince Wright, will be joining us later on today. We'll talk some Gophers and some Vikings, and we'll see what else we can do. He also had a rib cookout that he does every year. It's his prime rib cookout, and I'm pretty jealous. He doesn't invite us. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Well, I mean, like, I understand. I feel like, Vince is a little bit closer with, well, a lot more closer with you than he is with me. So, I still would like to be invited, but we'll talk about that when he's on the show. We'll confront him.
I know for a fact he would invite us. So it just sucks that he lives way in Woodbury and we live up north in the Great White North. We call it Bemidji. So there's also that too. So
I mean, I was down in the cities this weekend.
How was that? How was the old Viking game?
It was good. It was good.
It was good.
This was the first time I've ever been to a Vikings game.
What?
Yeah, never been to a Vikings game before.
Ever?
Never. You want
the Minnesota dad himself, who lives and dies by the purple.
Yeah.
Never been to a Vikings game.
First ever Vikings game.
What?
And I can say I enjoyed it. You want to know what's going to make you happy, actually?
What's that?
The first ever football game, the only football game, like professional, I've ever been to before, was a Dallas Cowboys game.
Let's go.
Before AT&T Stadium.
What?
Before Tony Romo.
Who'd you see? Chad Hutchinson?
I think so. Whoever the quarterback was before him.
Okay.
I was young.
Plenty.
I was young.
Probably Drew Bledsoe, actually. He was before.
Maybe. Literally, well, I think so, because, Drew Bledsoe. Didn't Romo take over Bledsoe?
Yeah.
Poor Drew Bledsoe.
Have to do it twice. What a guy.
But, I very much enjoyed my time at the Vikings game. That was very fun. I didn't expect it to be nearly as exciting.
Okay.
But also the first half was very fucking dull. The first half was a shit show. And here's honestly one of the funniest parts.
What's that?
So what happened was I tweeted at halftime. It was less of not dissing.
Okay.
It was kind of mainly to diss the Vikings for how bad this game was. But I made a tweet and I said, Vikings, take away from the Vikings at halftime. Ultimate Frisbee's lit.
I saw that. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So Ultimate Frisbee played at halftime, Minnesota versus Chicago, and it was pretty lit. What was weird, though, is I made the tweet, and then, I got a couple likes here from a couple random things. Then I got a like from the official, stats of, the league for this, professional Ultimate Frisbee league. And then some players liked it. And then an owner liked it.
Wow.
And then the league itself liked it.
Oh, good for you.
It's almost at 80 likes and 7 retweets and something like that.
Not a big deal.
For me, it is because I don't do shit on Twitter.
It is.
I don't do shit on
Twitter. Just giving you
Twitter.
shit.
No, but I was so because all of them are people who either play or who own the team or the league itself and shit, and I'm like, but I thought it was pretty funny. But the other thought crossed my head do people not talk about Ultimate Frisbee so much that one person tweets about it and they're like, "Oh, let's talk about Ultimate Frisbee." They said Ultimate Frisbee. Oh my god, guys.
Okay. It's too much running for me. I love the athleticism, but that's way too much running for me.
It was so fun. This dude. So for the dub, Minnesota was down 3-2, or they were down 3-1. Came back, tied it up.
Huh?
Then diving catch to win the match.
Let's go.
Well, actually, no, diving catch to tie the game, and then Buddy just walked in for the dub later. But either way, very exciting and a hell of a lot more exciting than the first half of the Vikings game. Second half was a lot better. But fuck U.S. Bank and
Jesus
for their drinks being so expensive. I love the bank is so nice. That is such a nice stadium.
It is.
That is one of I would argue. Again, I haven't been to many football stadiums, but that is probably the best stadium that I've been to. I personally think again, the venue itself, for how cool they do everything and how everything looks. There is because I can sit at Target Field. I love Target Field. I can sit in the main section. But then anything higher, I'm a little bitch when it comes to heights. I can sit in that main level. Upper level, fuck no, I can't do it.
Really?
I cannot do it. I will not. Yes, I literally feel like I'm gonna fall off. I can't do it.
You feel like a cartoon character when they're looking down?
Yeah.
Like Wile E. Coyote looking down?
Oh, it's so bad. I can't watch a movie with that, at the movie theater that has super high. I will legit get queasy and have to look away.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, it's bad. But here's the weird thing is I like airplanes. So I like again, it doesn't make sense.
So you're okay with flying?
Yes.
But you can't you can't see anybody going over a ledge or anything?
If it's if you ever see Shang-Chi.
Nope, know what the fuck that is.
It's a Marvel movie.
Okay.
Anyways, there's a scene where they're on a skyscraper in some they're on a skyscraper basically and they're on the scaffolding.
Okay.
And I was nope, I'm gonna fucking puke.
Fuck this
But
shit.
that's me with heights. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that shit. And even at the Metrodome when I was a kid, we were up near like. Do you remember what the old Metrodome like?
Oh yeah, of course I do.
So you know how high the Kirby Puckett and the all that like.
Yeah, way the fuck up there.
Yeah, my buddy was. So they had like the kid announce thing, and I was young enough at the time where like my friend got to do that.
Oh.
And we already went to the game before. They were doing it the next day, so we were like, screw it. Let's get some cheap tickets and let's go to the game. Yeah, I couldn't do it. It was the third inning, and I think he had to do it in like the fourth inning. We left by the third inning because I could not do it. I was sitting in like a seat, and
you baby back bitch.
I was 8. Anyways,
okay, that's fine then, I guess.
Anyways, then this lady came up who it was her seat, and she was like, "Hey, can you excuse me, buddy? That's my seat." And I literally clung to the seat, and I'm like, "No." I was terrified. The terror in my, and they could tell that I was just terrified. So we eventually did just boogie on and move. Which
what was that again?
Boogie on and move.
Okay.
But
I heard that in a while.
But yeah, that was so I can't handle heights. We were in like that middle section of the Vikings game.
Yep.
I was like, damn, this is because the thing is those seats, it's heights, but it's elevation. So like if you have seats that are like normal like seats where like I guess at Target Field, the main level, the main concourse, those seats aren't like straight up and down. They're like they go up at like a triangle, like they go up slightly.
Okay.
But then you get to the top row, and the bottom of the top of the seat in front of you is like at the bottom of your feet. So that's scary as shit.
It does sound
That is scary as shit. And same thing with you as bang at the very top. But that middle row, not that bad. I can 100% do that, and it makes me so happy. So watching the game was super fun. But on to my original topic, guess how much I paid for each drink?
$13 per.
15.
Jesus. You want to know why?
Because it's U.S. fucking bank, and it's because of the fucking sports thing, and they've charged so much fucking more?
Well, because it's not paid off. The dome was paid off quite early. That's why I think it's so goddamn cheap.
See, I don't know that because I never drank at the dome.
Okay. I did say that I may snuck a few things in, especially when I went to the U. I may snuck a rubber flask in, so when I go through the metal detector, they didn't know about it, and I got drunk like that.
Oh,
but, anyways, no, the reason why you're paying so much for it because, it's your taxes. And it's just because it's not paid off yet, like the dome was. Dome was paid off, like, pretty damn quick. I don't know how many years it took, but it was paid off pretty damn quick. So you're paying for everything right now.
Yeah, and which, again, it's understandable. But, like, whatever. But even, like, okay, this kind of pissed me off. So me and my buddy went down to the cities, and he broke up with his girlfriend on that Wednesday.
I remember that because you were on the phone right before we did our show.
Yeah, because I was like, holy shit, he actually did it. And the first thing that he said he wanted to do, because he talked about it, he was like, can we go to Hooters? I'm like, yes, we can, buddy. I'll take you to Hooters.
Yes, we can.
So we go to Hooters, and, it's Hooters. It's pretty, good time. Food isn't amazing. Food is food. It's okay. It's nothing spectacular. And basically, each beer that I had costed me $12 each.
Huh.
I nearly shat myself when I saw the fucking price. It was bad because here's what I kind of, for those of you who don't know, I am type 1 diabetic, and I had I went very low at the Mall of America. And if you don't know what that means, my blood sugar was low. If you're a normal person, it's at 100. For me, it was somewhere like probably in like the 40s or 30s. So that's if it gets to 0, that's dead. Anyways, so I'm trying to get above that. So I went to the Haagen-Dazs because I was right there.
Ooh, yes.
I got a Pepsi because they had that, and I had a Pepsi, and I had an ice cream.
What kind?
It was like a cookies and cream thing. Something good.
Cookies and cream.
Something really good.
Cookies and cream.
And within the span of like an hour, had that whole thing of ice cream, had the entire Pepsi.
Jesus.
Then had that like the Hooters bar food, like the tenders and mozzarella sticks.
Did you see anything there that you liked?
Oh yes, of course.
Oh no.
And
Never a doubt.
But here's the thing though: ice cream, pop, fried food, and beer all together are a bad mix. I unironically, my stomach hurt so bad. First off, I thought I was going to puke. Second off, I could not finish the second beer, which hurt me.
Morale-wise or pride or
no, like legit
physically?
I could physically.
Oh no.
No, I was determined to finish that beer. I got down to there was a fourth left, and I was like, no, if I stay here longer, I'm going to
get the sweats. You're like, okay.
And also the mall was closing in less than an hour, so I was like,
that too.
I was like, we got to get out of here. But there are things about the cities I love. I love a lot about the cities. I like the certain elements of the cities I very much enjoy, and having a lot of shit to do in the cities.
That's also nice.
But fuck, it is so expensive.
Yeah, so I don't live down there anymore.
And I wish it wasn't as expensive because I would go there a lot more if it wasn't. But even going down there in my truck.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Well,
how much that?
Well, I want you to guess how much per miles per gallon.
Well, it takes me $70 to fill up my truck, and that will get us about. I think I got a quarter left when I get down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I fill mine. I guess I put almost 100 in mine.
Jesus.
If I'm at empty.
How big is your tank?
32.
Okay, that's a pretty big fucking tank.
Yeah, and it gets me about half a tank left. Except I was getting maybe 16.5 miles per gallon.
That's about mine. That's about 15 to 16.
Yeah, it's okay. But then I was looking at that. But I was looking at the, how there's the meter on your I guess I don't know if yours has it, but on mine it has the little gauge thing that tells you hey, you're getting this much per gallon.
Yeah, mine does.
Yeah, mine was a fucking liar. It said it was getting 11, and I'm like, you bitch! I just drove 190 miles on basically without stopping. You can suck my dick.
Do you use cruise or anything?
Cruise control. Yes.
Good, because that will help out your gas mileage. So that'll level out your RPMs.
Yeah, exactly. So I use that.
I learned, except when it's it's kind of snowy up here. It's kind of a bitch. You can't really use it. But we get down there with really no snow. A lot of the roads there. When we were there 2 weeks ago, we were doing 80. I did 80 miles an hour. Oops, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to speed.
No, the thing is, when you get down to the cities, speed limit does not matter. You get
take it to the limit.
You get past St. Cloud, and speed limit does not matter. You could be going 90.
I mean, going to or from?
If you're already past St. Cloud.
Okay.
If you're past St. Cloud and you're going 90, no one gives a shit. Cops don't care. Nobody cares once you get to that part. It is almost a guarantee you could be murdering somebody on that any part of that drive from past St. Cloud to Minneapolis. No one would stop you.
Interesting.
That I've had I won't. Part of me, I don't want to go that fast when I go down there because I'm okay, I don't want to get into an accident and then have all this
sense.
and this, but you got to go a little bit fast. You got to keep with the traffic to the point where, traffic down there it might say 65, everybody's going 75, and more or less,
I do about 75.
And that's kind of the thing down there is I understand just go slower. Isn't the main thing though just keeping up with traffic? Because that's
actually gets pissed at me because you're going too fast. I just stay with the flow of traffic.
That's kind of what I'll stay with the flow of traffic. I'll either go slightly slower or slightly faster. Where it's the point where if a cop's gonna pull me over, I'm I deserve it at that point because not even that I deserve it, but more or less you picked me out instead of the other 100 and whatever drivers that you could have picked. You chose me. I'd be I want to know how you picked me out of the crowd, but whatever.
It is what it is. We do have a poll question up right now. It is about the Minnesota Vikings. We're going to talk with Vince
Skull
about the Vikings in a little bit. It is who is the best fit for the Vikings. And now I can only put a few people on Twitter for our poll.
Yeah.
By the way, Beer Belly Sports finding on there. BBS.
What did you
FO.
put?
BB.
Who'd you put on for the poll?
Okay, I did Brian Dabble. He's the offensive coordinator for the Bills. I think Dabble.
Okay.
Also, I did Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator for the Cowboys.
Young.
He's pretty young. He also played his last lefty to actually start in a game in the NFL. It's fun fact.
He is. Well, I'll talk about him in a little bit.
And then a last one I could put on there was Doug Penderson, former Eagles coach.
Oh, Doug Peterson?
Peterson. I said Penderson, so I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Gosh.
But I was like, whatever, fuck it.
The thing with Kellen Moore, I think I don't know how long has he been the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys?
3 or 4 years.
Really?
3 or 4 years. By the way, the poll right now, it's a tight race between. I put the other one is other because like I said, I couldn't put another one in there.
Uh-huh.
It's other, and then Doug, Kellen Moore, and then Brian.
See, the thing with Kellen Moore is Kellen Moore has potential. I would like to see what he'd be able to like. Again, I don't know how much I don't think Mike McCarthy has that much influence on the offense, but I mean, with Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott and the wide receiver core, they've done a pretty good job. I want to see what possibly you do, but also again, Ezekiel Elliott and Cook are different kind of players. Yeah. Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott are different type of quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And the wide, I would say this. You can agree with me or not. The wide receiving core for the Vikings, I think, is better than the Cowboys core.
Ooh,
I would say that.
So you're telling me Amari Cooper, CD Nuts, and Michael Gallup before he tore his ACL are not as good as the Vikings core?
I would argue because Amari Cooper is a great option, but he has fallen off. He has fallen off since.
What?
Oh yeah. Are you not going to say that he's fallen off since?
No.
Really?
He's been a great asset to the Cowboys.
I'm not saying he's not an asset.
CeeDee Lamb's going to be the number one in no time.
I'm not saying that he wasn't an asset. I'm just saying fallen off from where he was.
I don't think so. With the contracts, Gallup is in his last year. I don't think Cowboys are going to sign him. He did tear his ACL a couple weeks ago, so he's out. So that kind of sucks. But I did say we're going to get to Vince here between like 8:30. Oh, we will, Vince. We will get to you.
Even 2021. I mean, again, not falling off in his standards, but he had, one or I guess for this isn't even what is that from scrimmage? So total yards, so not even just receiving. So receiving yards, 865 receiving yards this year, not bad. I would say that's a solid second, third option. 1,000 receiving yards the year
Cooper's
before.
also been hurt too for most for
most of the season.
For part of the season,
I had him on my fantasy team. Trust me.
Okay, sorry,
trust
Dad.
me.
Sorry, Dad.
But this is only the one other year that he has not had a 1,000-yard season.
Okay.
He has played in 15 games this season, so he missed 2 games.
Sorry.
But are you gonna get 150 yards total? I don't know. He had a couple very, very good games, and I still think he's a solid receiver. But this year, Adam Thielen and Jefferson are each had 10 touchdowns this year.
Good for them.
So that pretty good option on that, and I think up and coming because Smith Marset is going to be, I think, a very good.
So?
I think he's going to be a good option. KJ Osborne being able to actually do some stuff, very good threat. Now, when I mainly think, I think of the top 2. If we're going, it's definitely a closer race, and maybe I'd even lean towards the Cowboys with that. But I would say again, it's Cooper and Dede versus. Why'd you say that? Versus Smith, versus Jefferson and Thielen.
What?
I would go with Jefferson and Thielen in my personal opinion.
What?
That's just my opinion. And that's the thing about opinions. Everyone's got one.
Yeah,
but
not everybody needs to be heard.
No, well, it's said. I'll say it, and you know what?
You know what? Fuck you too.
Go Vikings.
Go Vikings.
Go Vikings. Out of the playoffs, we go Vikings.
Whatever. Anyways, we got the man, the myth, the legend, the Minnesota sports governor himself. Vince Wright will be joining us here in just a few minutes. We'll talk some Gophers. What? We'll talk some Vikings. What? What else? I don't know. We'll find something else. He's a huge Chicago guy, too, so we'll talk about maybe get into that. But I do want to talk about his ribs, though.
No,
he makes
of course.
elite ribs.
No, of course. I mean, yeah, you have to.
So we'll talk about that. You're listening to Beer Belly Sports.
Shit. Look at that door, dude. See that door right there? One marked pirate. You think a pirate lives in there?
I see a door marked private. Is that the door you're talking about?
No, I was talking.
Yep.
I didn't say.
No,
did you? What did you hear?
I heard you say you saw a door marked pirate. And
Yes,
is there a
that's what I
pirate
thought-
living in there?
No, see, that's not what I'm saying. Well, look, are we going to talk about pirates all day? We're going to find out what lives in there.
The semi-pro of sports radio, Beer Belly Sports.
Hey there, all you Minnesotans. If you haven't checked out the 7th Avenue Pizza in Minneapolis, well, you should there, bud. Premium thin crust frozen pizza. 7th Avenue produces the highest quality, best tasting frozen pizza available in the market today. If delicious toppings is what you crave, look no further. Their thin crust pizzas are made with the highest quality ingredients, including spicy sauces, hearty meats, and an assortment of Wisconsin cheeses. We promise no Packer fans touch them. The meats are real too, no fillers. Now in Bemidji at Lucan's Village Foods. Go to 7thAvenuePizza.com to find a location near you. 7th Avenue Pizza, before pizza became trendy. Better than your mother's tater tot casserole, this is Beer Belly Sports.
Urban and Gerbert's most mouth-watering sandwiches are back. The Neuron, barbecued pulled beef brisket with a hot and gooey mac and cheese topped with citrus chipotle barbecue sauce. And the Beacon, a beef brisket topped with chipotle citrus barbecue, cherrywood bacon, and cheddar cheese. Two delicious taste bud tempting concoctions that are sure to please. And don't forget, it's soup season with creamy cheddar cheese and broccoli, hearty cheddar and wild rice, bold and spicy Southwest chili, all at Urban and Gerbert's, located on the corner of 15th and Bemidji Avenue.
It's sports entertainment that just sounds different. It's Beer Belly Sports.
Tonight, the TV event that will make history, Liberty City Survivor. This takes reality TV to a whole new level. We'll take 20 recently paroled guys, equip them with grenade launchers and flamethrowers, and let them hunt each other down. It's the reality show where you just might be part of the action.
I was grabbing a sandwich at the Happy Blimp, and all of a sudden these guys crashed through the window and started shooting at each other. I was so excited, I didn't even notice I'd been hit. After that, I was hooked on Liberty City Survivor. I watch it every day in the hospital.
The game doesn't end until there's only one man left standing. Tune in nightly or watch the 24-hour live webcast. Liberty City Survivor. Natural selection has come home. Sponsored by Ammunition. Remember to put litter in its place.
People need to be entertained. They need the distraction. I wish to God that somebody would do something to block out the voices in my head for 5 minutes. The voices that scream over and over. Why do they come to me to die? Why do they come to me to die?
Okay.
Here's the guys. Beer Belly Sports.
You boys ever met a real country girl? Talking true blue out in the woods.
Welcome back to Beer Belly Sports. We continue to be the semi-pro of sports talk. God, this song kicks ass. I'm Matt Geffrey, alongside me the one and only, the Minnesota Dad himself. We are enjoying some beverages, and now we're going to be on the phone with I think, probably one of the greatest guys of all time. He is, I guess, he's the man, the myth, the legend. He's on tap with us right now. The Minnesota sports governor himself. He has his own podcast called Sports Done Right. That airs on Tuesday nights on Spreaker. It is Vince Wright. Vince?
What is going on, everybody? What's going on to the fine folks of Bemidji, Minnesota? And Matt, gee, what is happening, man? It's been a minute.
It's been more than just a minute. It's been a couple months, maybe? A few months.
Man.
It feels like, yeah. When the last time we talked?
Jeez, way too long. Way too long.
Yeah, it had to be a few months ago. So the Minnesota Dad found a photo of you. It's you were over at Ty McCramer's house. You holding the Packers,
the urinal.
Yeah, the urinal. That is elite.
Well, if you guys ever make it down to the south part of the state, we'll get you over to TK sometime. I promise you.
I'd be okay with that. I would like to hang out with him.
Well, get your ass down here.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, so I saw all these great photos of you and of your ribs. How was Rib Fest for you?
This Rib Fest was really fun. I called this one the Twitter Rib Fest, as you saw a lot of the folks on Twitter and whatnot. Our boy Justin actually made it down with his wife.
That son of a bitch.
He's got one up on you now, Jeffrey, so you got to get down here. But no, seriously, man, it was a lot of fun. We had like 10, 11 folks over here, kind of on the small side, but that's the way I wanted it, man, because I just wanted to hang out with people, talk, drink, have a good time, and that's exactly what we did. It was a blast, man. So I hope you guys can definitely get down here sometime and partake in a Rib Fest.
We need to. This is like third year in a row that I've missed it.
Exactly. Come on.
I'm disappointed in myself.
Not only that, the entire state of Minnesota is disappointed in you.
Damn it. Well, that's not a shock. What else is new?
What? Hey, and don't forget Minnesota Dad as well.
Yeah, he needs to come down
here.
He needs to come down. He needs to get his TikTok followers up too. So,
what better way than at a Rib Fest?
No
right?
shit.
That's a good point. That's a fantastic. I will say they look damn good. I saw a lot on Twitter. I was like, damn, that looks very good right now.
Well, thank you very much, brothers. I appreciate it.
So, what are you sipping on right now? Because I know you just don't sip on nothing. You're usually sipping on something.
I am sipping on 1792 bourbon single barrel.
That a kid.
Yes, and very smooth. Had to break out the good stuff here for Beer Belly Sports. You know that.
Yeah.
Man.
And I know you don't like. I'm trying to think of the right word to use. Cigars. Are you smoking any good cigars lately?
What cigars are you talking about, Matthew?
The one with tobacco in it, sir. Wink. We can talk about the other stuff on a different day. Yes.
No cigars tonight, man. Just having a nice little pour neat in the glass here, hanging out with you fellas. So
that a kid. All right, so let's go. Let's dive into it. The Golden Gophers, as you saw, they won. They won a bowl game. That's what, 3 bowl games in a row?
I think 5, actually.
5. Okay, so 5 maybe. And you were there. You got to be there. Yes. And I wish that we would have hooked up earlier, and I would have tried to get you some media tickets for it. I mean, sorry, the higher ups. The higher ups would have got you them.
Well, exactly. But hey, let's work on that for next time. But man, it really was. In all seriousness, it was a lot of fun. It was really cool to see kind of the Gopher Nation taking over a city. They said there was over 10,000 Gopher fans that came down for the game. You could definitely see it walking around, especially downtown Phoenix, where most people were staying, where they had a couple of the pre-parties going and the pre-tailgate and all that stuff. So it was a blast, man. Shout out to the Deuce, a very cool little spot over there. That was the host of the Soda Social, I think it was called.
Okay.
No.
And yeah, that was where a lot of those pictures that you saw were taken.
Okay.
It was
a
blast.
Packed.
It was. Like I said, there was just Gopher fans everywhere, no matter what bar, restaurant you were going to. Before the game, who's it? Cole Keefe's dad, Jerry, he had a little something going on over at Marley Sports Bar.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, it was just incredible, man. And this program, they say the Gophers don't travel. Well, I don't know who is talking that nonsense. Because as long as you got a warm weather destination, Gopher fans will be there.
Gopher fans also traveled to Colorado. I wonder what they were doing there.
Just saying. Well, what the song says, Rocky Mountain High. Not that the sports governor would know anything about that. Just from what I heard around,
right? Thanks, John Denver. Appreciate it.
Colorado.
So with the Gophers, I mean, they picked up another, I think, a defensive lineman from Clemson. That's
they've been hitting the portal hard, man. So yeah, they got a guy from Michigan today, Clemson yesterday. It's really looking good, and I think PJ, in this new era, because let's just call it what it is, free agency.
Basically,
that's all. That's all this is. You don't like your playing time or whatever. jump in the portal, right?
I mean, it works.
So,
I mean, like that's exactly what Joe Burrow did. And look
what happened.
Look what happened to him. I mean,
exactly. So I think having PJ here, a younger guy that kind of gets this generation. He's shown he can recruit. I think he knows how to deal with this portal stuff and has a good staff on hand that really helps him navigate the portal and keep eyes out there to see who's available and, who they want to go after. Mm-hmm. So, in this new day and age, this is how it's done. And, so far, at least, the past couple of days for the Gophers, it's looking pretty good.
You see, kind of on track, back to when you were in Arizona for the game, I saw you posted that you were out golfing a little bit. I got to know, one, how are the courses, and two, how was your game out there?
Okay, so the pictures were a little deceiving. I was fortunate enough, and shout out to Buddy Becker, Tommy Kramer. They let me stay down at their Arizona Casa, as I like to call it.
Oh, nice.
And there is a golf course about a block away. So one day we went over there just to hit balls. Oh. It was those pictures, it was a little later in the afternoon. So there wasn't really even time to get 9 holes in. So we just, hit some balls. And I'm glad, hey, Minnesota Dad, let me tell you, I'm glad we just did that, man, because my first time on the range this year, I had no business being on anybody's golf course. Private, muni, whatever, putt, nothing. So the sports gov's got a lot of work to do on that golf game.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being able to get to there. But I guess me and Matt had an idea for related to golf. Matt, if you want to,
I've mentioned this to the 10K guys. Mm-hmm. We are thinking about. I mean, this is all just talk right now. Nothing's in stone, right. Whatever. But I would like to do the best podcast golf tournament. I mean, we're gonna finish dead last. I don't give a shit about that. I just want to hang out with all the podcasters in the state of Minnesota and get drunk.
Well, I definitely think you're onto a very interesting idea there, Matty G. Dude, I'd totally be down for that. Yeah.
And for all the photos that you take of you golfing, let's be real. It's your wife who's an athlete, who actually is a very good golfer. Let's be real. And your daughter too.
Yes. Yeah. So for folks, you are definitely true, my man. My wife, her father owns a golf course, so she grew up, in a golf family. Her dad, is a single-digit handicapper still. Her brother's single-digit handicap. Yeah, exactly. And then to deal with her, so I did beat her once last year.
Oh, yeah. How much did you gloat?
I'll tell you what. If she was here, I could get her on the phone, and she would start going off on me for about 2 hours because she didn't hear the end of it. She has this golf mug, and on her mug it says, "I'm born to golf." I took that from her to have my morning coffee.
Oh shit!
Just kind of, yeah. Oh man, it was.
You wanted to die that day.
Man. It was a beautiful thing, and she did not hear the end of it all day. Made her sign the scorecard.
Oh shit!
It was real. It's all legal. It was real. Yes, absolutely.
Oh my gosh! So so with the Gophers, like I said, the transfer portal is good and bad. It has helped us and has hurt us at the same time, but I think it's a bit more good than anything else. Mm-hmm. I did see the schedule that came out. It came out today. I think we have 3 home games right out of the gates. We play.
They redid that because it was 5 games, 5 straight home games originally, which I thought was a little weird. And then Iowa was I think going to be the 4th game.
Okay.
So we would actually have Iowa, assuming in pretty good weather, which is always kind of nice.
To have.
I understand rivalry games and how we put them at the end of the schedules, but. Yep. I would like to play Wisconsin and Iowa in decent weather every so often.
Yeah, we don't do that very often. It's always
no, we don't.
It's always snowing or super cold, no matter where you go.
Even though this past Wisconsin game, we did get some really good weather. I remember being out there tailgating, so I can't really complain about that. But yeah, you know how it goes. It's hit or miss.
It is hit or miss. Anything for Gophers?
What do you think about Annexstad leaving?
Oh yeah.
Well, I think you have a quarterback in Annexstad that was pretty good athlete, pretty good baller. Excuse me. And obviously, he just he caught the injury and he never got his job back. So, and the way that this, again, just like we were talking a few minutes ago with these portals and how it works now, he wants to get his shot. So, he went down to Illinois State, which, is a very decent FCS program. They usually are top 10 and contending to get beat by North Dakota and that, right?
North Dakota and South Dakota State, they always get beat by. It's weird.
Well, exactly. So I'm very happy for him. I hope he gets a real chance to play down there, as I like to see what he can do. And I wish him nothing but the best. But, it's just kind of the, laws of averages here. He got injured and he just never got his job back. Earlier this year, a lot of people were calling for him to, get a shot. But, Gophers kind of turned the season around there. So he saw the tea leaves, and obviously with their Kirk Shiraka coming back to be offensive coordinator, Tanner then decides, okay, I'm going to stick around for the 6th year. So, yeah, I don't blame him one bit.
What do you do in that 6th year? I mean, you're obviously done with school. You just are you getting paid to go back?
Well, now you can get paid, from people, but before that, I think a lot of these guys, a lot of them were in graduate school, so they were still in school taking classes and all that stuff. But I man, I really can't tell you exactly how it works. I know they got the extra year, for COVID.
Yep.
When COVID originally hit, so that's where this 6th year comes from him, and I don't know, man. It's all crazy just trying to keep up with college sports right now.
It is. I get it. Vikings. Your awesome Vikings they're without a head coach and without a general manager. Where do you see that this team is going to go for both?
I think they're going to go younger for both. On my show last night, I was talking with Sal Spice about this. There's a couple guys. Of course, now I'm drawing brain farts on the mind. The current GM for the Colts, and then they also have kind of a director of player personnel, young African-American gentleman who a lot of folks have eyes on to be that next kind of young, cool general manager type.
Okay.
Because apparently the Colts, and from what I've read online with these two in place, their drafts have been phenomenal. So people are very impressed with the front office of the Colts all of a sudden. So I think just in general, they're going to be going younger. In terms of a head coach, guys, I think you're going to need somebody that can really connect with this generation.
Yep.
And I know I'm sounding like, Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino or something, get off my yard.
Get off my lawn.
But,
great movie, by the way.
A phenomenal movie, but you got to be able to find someone who can really just kind of talk with these guys and relate to them.
Yep.
We're seeing stories eking out now about the culture of the Vikings headquarters and how some of these coaches apparently weren't the most, hospitable people to deal with and things like that. So I think the West will be looking to kind of change that and have a more pleasant atmosphere over there for their players. And then from there, we just got to, if they're going to stay true to what they said, they hired the general manager first, so then that person can also have a say on the head coach. But, yeah, they're going to go younger for both and, just try and, I don't know. It's very important that they get this right.
Yeah, you see, I feel like it was very obvious that Zimmer was out the door. I mean, everyone knew it. Zimmer knew it. There's a reason he was, taking it all in, taking photos. The last game against the Bears, I don't want to say surprised, but I didn't honestly think that they were going to fire Spielman. I thought, if anything, they maybe were going to move into a different role in the organization, maybe. But I don't. At least for Zimmer, I feel like it might take Zimmer maybe a little bit. He might get a defensive coordinating job, maybe a head coaching job. But how easy do you think it's going to be for Spielman to get a new job somewhere? Because he overall, didn't do awful job with the Vikings. It's just that when you get only two NFC championship appearances in your time, a change has to happen. But where do you think he'll end up somewhere? Do you think he's going to be kind of on the rocks for a bit?
Very good question. I think he may be on the rocks for a little bit, just in terms of, okay, let me just kind of decompress, weigh the options here. Between him and his brother, obviously they have millions of NFL contacts, so he'll definitely get another look, whether it's as a general manager, whatever kind of title that another team calls things, a director of player personnel, things like that. So I do think Spielman will get another shot if he does want to stay in the game, so to speak. And he's got a little bit of a resume to work with as well, because he did make some good choices as well. So I think he'll be okay, if he does want to continue on. Personally, if I was him, I'd just kind of take some time off and just kind of reconnect with the family, and then your family will get tired of you, and that's when these guys start looking for jobs again.
I think that is probably the smart move for him, because he's been here for
16 years.
Like he's been
16,
here,
17
right. Like his family's his family is grown up here. His kids have grown up here. I feel like at least it makes the most sense to not immediately have to pull your kids out of school if they're whatever they're doing, and have some time to at least be with the family. You've been on the job for 16 years straight, and you've done a pretty decent job. So why not take some time?
And right. Well, that's what I was just going to say. He's obviously he's got some money tucked away, so that shouldn't be an issue. Not that we know anybody's personal business, but obviously you assume he's okay money wise. So just kind of sit back and enjoy life for a moment or two. Now, in today's sports world, though, fellas, out of sight, out of mind. That's always the dangerous part.
Mm-hmm.
So, probably don't sit around too long if you do want to continue, and just keep your name out there.
I think it's a smart idea for both. Just like you said, just stay out of the limelight for a little bit. Don't just take a year off. I listened to PA the past couple of days. I generally don't listen to PA because it's just too much positivity and it drives me nuts.
Wow. Okay.
Spoken like a true South Dakota guy at all.
So you talk about just how probably just take like a year off and stuff. Just recollect himself and his and I don't blame him. Plus I don't say he's too old for the game. He's just
no.
I think right now his role would be better fit as a defense, because if you listen to his players that talk to him, it's defensive guys that really, really respect him.
Right.
I'm not saying like the other guys didn't, but it just the defensive side, like how Kendricks feels like this felt like a dad to him.
Yeah.
And
Matt, and I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to cut you off there, but with Zimmer, that's the thing too. We've seen this time and time again in the NFL. Some guys are great coordinators. They get their shot at head coach, and some do it. Some are okay at it. I would call Zimmer okay, but then obviously others it fails, and then they go back to being a coordinator where they just knock it out the park again. So, I think we will see Zimmer, as a defensive coordinator, and because how old is he, by the way? He's in his mid-60s?
Mid-60s, I think.
Okay, so kind of coming up on that 70-year mark.
He's aged like maybe double that since being the Vikings head coach, but
probably.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I'm actually going to look right now for you.
Okay, appreciate it. But if he does want to coach again, he may get another shot. But he will definitely get a shot as a coordinator, and I think he'll probably start there. And he may eke out another job before it's all said and done.
I've heard that he's pretty close with Jerry Jones, and they could possibly be looking at their defensive coordinator is going to get some head coaching interviews.
I'll tell you this right now, that defensive coordinator, I can't think of his name. He used to be the Falcons head coach, but I can't think of his name at the top of my head. Anyways, he already said no, that he doesn't want any more offer. He wants to stay in Dallas.
That's
okay.
Well, there's that. It might have been a good fit there, but at least I've always thought that with Zimmer he is a great defensive mind. These last 2 years would not have you be thinking that with the Vikings defense, but overall he's a great defensive mind. But I feel like it's always with that how that team was is he was definitely. It was like he was a defensive coordinator with a different title, because I mean the offense.
Right.
He has to say in the offense. You could definitely tell that he wants a guy to be have run the ball, run the clock out, conservative play style, and that nothing wrong with that. But the Vikings, I feel like for their next head coach, either needs someone who's offensive minded, or at least someone who is open to opening up the floodgates with the offense and letting it do its thing, rather than trying to run the clock out when let the offense go. You have enough weapons to do it, but
exactly. I totally agree with you, and and that's the thing. One of the guys I hope that gets an interview if he's interested. I mean, he may wind up with his old team, the Jaguars, but Byron Leftwich.
Byron Leftwich, I think, deserves to have a shot to be head coach. He has that head coach written all over him.
Right, and he obviously a very good college quarterback. He definitely had his moments as a pro.
Mm-hmm.
Has come up through the ranks on the coaching sideline, and just talking about what Minnesota Dad was saying there is just like, look, I mean, we need somebody like him to kind of open up the offense, to get imaginative with our offense and stop wasting this offensive talent that we have. Because look, man, I mean, Adam Thielen is 33 years old.
Yeah, he's up there. He's getting up there for a receiver.
Yeah, I mean, still solid hands, but like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the thing, because and he'll be here because when he isn't injured, he produces. So, obviously him being a Minnesota kid, so Vikings aren't getting rid of him. But what I'm saying is, we do got some guys that are creeping up there in age. We got to figure out things on the defensive side of the ball as well. So if you can get somebody, again, just my opinion, like a Leftwich, come in, get a solid defensive coordinator hire, and get a nice little staff put together, and reimagine this thing and take a look at how the Vikings do things, and just start saying, look, man, we can't be so conservative at times with the play calling here. We got to open things up. We got two, all pro receivers. We got all pro running back. Let's shore up this line, and on the offensive ball, let's start doing some damage, and same thing on the defensive side. Get it figured out. And let's get a Super Bowl run together.
By the way, Zimmer is 65 years old.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, he's kind of getting to that point. He's made a crap load of money too. We see the girlfriend and the Instagram girlfriend and stuff. So yeah, who knows, man?
Must be nice.
He definitely.
So everyone about the Vikings offense, a lot of the focus is on Thielen, Jefferson, Cook, even a little bit this year with Osborne. In this last game against the Chicago Bears, this is my first time going to a Vikings game, and I wish we would have been a little bit better contention, but with one name I kind of want to get your opinion on is Smith Marset, who 3 receptions for over 100 yards, and I do get that the Bears. They're, I don't know how depleted their backs still are, but I mean, but either way, 3 catches for 100 and something yards, a touchdown. And he hasn't really been involved in this offense at all this year. It's really been it's been Cook, Jefferson, Thielen, and then when they're not there or they're not open, then you get it to Osborne, Conklin.
Right.
Smith Marset hasn't really had a chance in this offense yet. Do you think that maybe it's kind of one of those younger guys who never got a shot this year who could have a bigger impact or a bigger role next year, or do you think it just kind of maybe a one-game wonder? Maybe it's a little bit too much to expect him to be able to be that solid number 3 or even number 2 guy at some point in his career.
Right. No, I think he can. Him, KJ as well. KJ Osborne's definitely shown you the talent that he has, and if one of these guys goes down, you got to be able to get that next man in. So both of those guys definitely have the potential to, be the solid number 3. And I think, too, with the new coaching staff and then, kind of how that plays out, if, both of those guys remain on the team, you're going to see a straight-up battle for the number 3 spot. And, obviously you give the edge to KJ right now just because of what he's done. But, the Vikings do have a lot of talent at receiver. And then you throw in, those tight ends as well. So, receiving-wise, that's another plus for us. So, I'm very excited to see what those guys, the backups, as we like to call them, can come in and do next year, and especially in these training camps here, just kind of see, okay, who wants to be the man behind the big two, so to speak.
Especially with Irv Smith Jr. coming back too. I mean, it's
right.
This is the first time he's been able to actually get some playing time since we traded Rudolph away. Which
did we trade him away, or did we just not sign him?
Well, I guess we released him, and then he signed with the Giants. But either way, getting him off, it was a bad time to do that. I mean, Conklin did, he stepped up pretty well this year.
Yeah, I think he did pretty well. I think he'd be more of a second tight end, or unless you want to retrade him and stuff, which I think his value is higher now than it was before.
I think he might have earned a contract, but having Irv Smith Jr. being able to, the fact that he is now, again, barring any injury, hopefully he's not. Hopefully he can stay healthy, but I want to be able to see what he can actually do when he's the number one guy, when he's the number one tight end, because I don't really know where his ceiling is, but I feel like with all the injuries and with him, limited playing time really up until what this year was going to be, I don't really know what his ceiling could be, but it's pretty exciting for at least where this core is receiving wise, and honestly, all around the big scare is always going to be the offensive line, but that's just a heart attack every year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've said it before. If Cousins is going to be here, he's got to have protection. So you really got to get, it's going to require literally having the best offensive line in football for the Vikings to really make a true Super Bowl run, because he needs time. When he can sit in that pocket and he has some time, that's where those big plays come from. But obviously when he's pressured and he's running around, bad things happen. So, yeah, we got to get the offensive line figured out. But, overall on the offensive side, outside of the offensive line question mark, I mean, we're sitting pretty good, barring injuries. Obviously, that's always the big question mark.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if we can get the guys back healthy next year and keep them healthy, I think we're going to be okay on the offensive side of the ball.
So go back to the Chicago game. Your boy Andy Dalton was looking very nice.
Mint.
Oh,
Mint.
You won't give up on the rifle, will you?
No, you love him.
You love him.
No. You told me how much that you love him.
Nah, man. Nah. You apparently had some of them special cigars going that night.
No.
Come on.
No.
I've never said the Red Rifle's the guy, because he is not. He just isn't. He's a nice guy. I'm sure I'd love to have a beer with him and all that stuff. He's definitely had some moments. Don't get it wrong, but come on, man. For a starting franchise quarterback that's going to get you to the Super Bowl, it's not him.
You don't think it's him?
Nope.
Well, what about your boy Cousins?
I don't think it's him either, honestly. And I know Matt has come after me for being the Cousins hater. I'm not a hater.
Numerous of times.
Numerous of times. And I am not a Kirk Cousins hater. I just, like I said, when me and Matt used to do our show back when, I would always tell him those were plumped up stats that came from Washington. They were, trailing in games all the time. So they're always throwing and this and that, because everybody's like, oh my God, look at the stats. Look at all these yards. But I'm like, it was garbage time. And I just think, I've been listening to a lot of the local radio here, and, I just don't think that Kirk is the guy that it truly inspires this team. And, he is, I will say this, though, he is definitely not the reason, like he was a couple years ago, that the Vikings were losing games.
Okay.
So and hey, I love Kirk Cousins in college, so I am definitely not a hater. But if you're asking me honestly, hey, as long as he's here, I hope I'm wrong, fellas. But no, I don't think he's the one that's going to get us to the Super Bowl. But please prove me wrong, because I'll be happy to eat that crow.
See, I definitely understand because he does need he needs a pocket to be able to perform. And I mean, I feel like if we had the Kirk Cousins that was you like that, if we had that Kirk Cousins every time, I feel like, then it's a guy that can bump it up. But I do want to just throw it out. This year, besides this last game against Chicago, there was no garbage time for Kirk. I think everything this year, because always the Vikings have to make everything close this year.
Yeah.
Every game was within 3 points.
Totally. Like I said, he is not the reason at all. The Vikings we're losing these games or anything like that.
And see,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You're good. Definitely the first. I think definitely the first few years of his contract, it was up until like halfway through last year. It really Kirk did not step up in the way that we were paying him to.
Yeah.
We were not paying. We were paying him money for that kind of quarterback.
That's the key. That's the key. Yep. We're not paying him to be just kind of ho hum. We're paying him to get our butts to the Super Bowl, or at least help get obviously a team game and everything. But that's what we're paying him for, and that's not happening. So yeah, people are getting antsy. I think it was funny because I was listening to, I think it was Pat Royce on one of the shows down here, and he was talking about how all of a sudden Kirk Cousins has all these fans in his, on his side. And he's like, I think it's political because of the vaccine and all that stuff.
I don't even think about that shit. I don't even care. I just want to know how the hell you're playing.
I'm just telling you what old sports writers said down here, right? So, but for me, like I said, man, prove me wrong. I want to be wrong. If Kurt led us to the Super Bowl, that's great. I'll have the number 8 jersey hanging in the man cave. But I just don't think that he is the one that is ultimately going to get us there.
All right, I want you to say this audio at this mark that Vince said that he, if Kirk Cousins wins the Super Bowl, he's going to get a Kirk Cousins jersey and put it in the man cave. Got it.
Okay. There you go. Oh, hey, I'll do that for
the Oval Office for you.
There you go, the Oval. That's right.
See, my biggest thing for why I think context matters a whole lot for especially this season versus other seasons in the past is what's crazy enough, and you might have already seen this too because it was on Twitter. Kirk Cousins, Brett Favre, 2009, 2021, the same exact stats except for 200 more passing yards from Cousins. Yet Brett Favre was in the NFC Championship because we at least had a competent defense and at least an offensive line that
right.
But then Kirk is sitting at 8 and 9. And again, there's the one thing is I'm glad that at least this year there was more, at least people, I think more people realize that the games that we were losing weren't Kirk's fault this year.
That's absolutely true. Yep.
And I'm glad that was at least there because I think context does matter because there was a lot of stats saying about how the Vikings this year were the Vikings defense in 2-minute time gave up the most points in the NFL. And if besides one game, if we don't give up any points in the last 2 minutes, we win all those. That's so just crazy to me.
And that's the funny part of it because our head coach is a defensive guru, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's what made this real disappointing for me as well because it's like, okay, you can kind of say Mike Zimmer, okay, well, he's not an offensive-minded guy because he's the defensive coordinator for everybody. Well, damn, shouldn't the defense be a little better?
Oh yeah.
And I get it. We've had some injuries. You got to factor those in. But, I mean, come on.
Also, one more thing I want to, at least on the Vikings-Bears game, I always like to imagine what the Vikings offense would be with a fun, imaginative coach who let their offense go. What do you think about ultimately Zimmer not letting Jefferson get the record while knowing he was that close to the record?
Yeah. We were talking about this last night on my show too. Here's the thing. People will say, well, it's a record with an asterisk because, you get an extra game to do it. And, there's legitimacy to that.
Yep.
Randy did his in 16 games. It would have took you 17 games to do it. But, we're in a different age, different time. And to have literally your best player probably a little upset now because he didn't get his shot to set the record, asterisk or no asterisk, in my opinion, he deserved this shot. Let's go out. We're not making the playoffs. Let's end it on a little of a positive note. It wouldn't have really took that much to get him the record. So let's go and try and do it. And then when you don't do it, I asked Sal Spice that yesterday. I said, do you think it was kind of the head coach going F you to the organization, to the fans, all that stuff? But, yeah, it was disappointing, man, because you saw when he got to the stadium, they showed that clip of him walking in talking about getting the record and all this. So I felt bad for him, and let's just hope that it doesn't reverberate with him.
I just hope it doesn't turn into another Stephon Diggs.
Well, yeah, hey, I mean, Stephon was right apparently about a lot of this stuff, but
true, you're not wrong.
Yeah, too late now, but yeah, like I said, I hope he doesn't it doesn't fester with him, because JJ is obviously a phenomenal talent and we need him.
Yeah, JJ is honestly he's the future. I mean, it's honestly hard to even say he's the future because he's now. He is like the guy now who's putting up the first guy in NFL history to put 3,000 yards in his first two seasons. What my big thing with the Vikings offense, and again, it'd be so nice to see what this offense could be without a filter on it, without something holding it back.
Yeah.
My one thing is I feel like this team is this entire season, and even last season too. I love Dalvin Cook, but it seems like it's going back to the days where you're relying on Adrian Peterson, and the thing is, Adrian Peterson was an absolute freak when he was on the field. And I love Dalvin Cook, but Dalvin Cook is not prime Adrian Peterson, where he can carry a team to 2,000-plus yards from scrimmage and basically will itself into a playoff. I think he's a good guy who's going to get a lot of yards, but that's just that's a lot to ask from any running back to be
of course,
to be Adrian Peterson. So you have to keep Cook involved, but I mean, what do you think is a good balance to have with this team on offense? Because you don't want to kick anyone out of the rotation.
Yeah, no, exactly, and that's the problem when you do get so much talent on one side of on the offensive side of the ball. Everybody wants touches, right? So, yeah, I mean, you got to find a way to get Cook, his 25 per. You got these receivers and tight ends that are all going to need looks, and that's the thing. You got to sit down and as a team come together and figure out that, hey, sometimes I'm going to get a little less, hopefully for the greater good. And if guys can deal with that, you got a good team and you got, a good vibe going. But, they got to figure it out because, we got Madison too. I mean, he's pretty stellar backup. He can definitely come in and get yards as well.
You also got your Iowa State running back too, Wangu, who is also a really good runner.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I think Madison's probably at the highest trade value that you have. You could trade and get something out of it. That's just me.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. I mean, I don't get out to the headquarters, so it's next man up and all that. But yeah, if you can find that balance and just come up with some game plans that, just throw little twists and turns in there every so often as well. Not necessarily trick plays or anything, but just do something that, the defense wouldn't expect you to do.
Okay.
Just kind of figure, and I don't know what that is, but, figure out some new plays. And, I hope the Vikings will figure it out because obviously this state is just, on the edge to get to the Super Bowl. And, it's been way too long. And obviously we've been close a couple times, but, getting our butts kicked out in Philly, like we did back in 2018 or whatever it was. Oh, boy.
Fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, exactly. So, I mean,
for me, me being the perfect the Viking troll that I like to be.
This is true. Are you a Detroit Lions fan this week? Are you a Cowboys fan this week?
Okay.
Depends on who loses.
Yeah, that's true. I already said that Cowboys are going to get bounced in the first round. That just it's what's going to happen. I've already expected it. I'm okay with that, and I'm fine. But I'm more looking forward to what the Lions are going to do the next few years with MCDC out there in Detroit, restoring the roar, doing all the best he can. The article came out saying that the Lions are not the worst team anymore because of the culture change.
Okay.
That makes sense. I had somebody actually comment on I had a video I posted a couple days ago that I tagged you in. I had someone comment. They were again trashing like Vikings fan and everyone else that was there, and then somebody was trashing on the Lions fan, and the Lions fan had the audacity to say that that this year was a rebuilding year for the Lions.
Don't ever say that.
Like,
Every year's a rebuilding year.
Are you like
this is, in the words of PJ Fleck, this is year 0 for the Lions.
Oh no.
Year
No.
0.
Oh.
We did okay. We got 2 wins out of it.
So, I mean, come on.
That's just you. Like I know my place as a Viking. That's at least what I've at least been able to pride myself as a Vikings fan is at least like other. Not this isn't like a lie. This is more of like a Packer like issue. But like when we lose a game, you'll see on it's never like, oh my God, those like there'll be a call that the refs are bad, but most of the tweets are going to be like, wow, we sucked. Wow, the play calling was awful. Wow, this is awful. You see a Packers fan lose a game, and all of a sudden you see, oh, the refs are against us. Oh, what was that call? What was this?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Or like saying that, oh, we were injured. It's like, oh, we put a practice squad team out there. Really, your practice squad led by one of the greatest quarterbacks in history? Wow, what a practice squad. Tell me more.
Right.
Like, I guess my question for you is, so since the Packers are in the playoffs, how do you think that they're going to lose the NFC Championship game? Because
good question. Good question. Let's see. How does Green Bay lose? They do have home field advantage throughout, right?
Yep.
Yep. So I think it just kind of happens in classic Green Bay style for them. You know, they're feeling good. They think they're going to get there. They'll get to the NFC Championship game, and somehow, some way, whoever's going to come in from the NFC is going to find a way to beat them. And we'll sit there and scratch our heads, and they'll scratch their heads and go, gee, this wasn't supposed to happen like this again. Yeah, but here we are, and now then obviously we're on the clock for does Rodgers stay or go? You know, just that whole fiasco too. So how did they lose in disappointing fashion once again in Lambeau Field? And then they'll have is the Jordan Love on the clock question.
Let's go. I'll be okay with that. I really want to see it. If the Packers go with Jordan Love, they are going to be in a world of hurt for years.
I just want to have a conversation with a Packers fan once Jordan Love is the quarterback and Aaron Rodgers is gone. I want to see how this conversation flips, because I know that every single one it's going to be, we would have beat you the Rodgers. And I don't like Rodgers. I don't like him. I personally don't. I just don't like. I'm not. I'm not exactly that reporter who's like, oh, he's not who says that he's not going to vote for him because he's a bum, which he is. But but like, I want. No matter how much that I don't like the guy, he is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. And it's hard to deny that.
You can't deny it, unfortunately, for us being Vikings fans. Well, yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of the best.
I do want to say this, Vince. This is going to date you and I, but when Minnesota Dad was talking about, now I don't really like him. It had a very Johnny Carson / Ross Perot with it. So I just want to throw that out there.
No,
it's dating us. He has no idea. He's like, definitely. Who the fuck are you talking about?
See, if I did, are you trying to assume that I don't know who Johnny Carson? Are you kidding me?
Do you know who Ross Perot is?
Anyways, let's move to the next.
Okay, that's what I thought. I swear, I cannot finish.
But like, I want to have because again, us Vikings fans have had to go through some very tough years with Jackson, rest in peace, Christian Ponder, Donovan McNabb. When everyone was calling for what was it, Joe Webb to be the quarterback for a couple games, we've had to deal with a lot of subpar
so do the Lions.
Quarterbacking. Yeah. The Lions, that's a different story. You had Matt Stafford and you chased him at it. You had Calvin Johnson and you had Matthew Stafford.
Who else?
And look at what Stafford went out with Cooper Kupp throwing for you. But either way, being able to see Packers fans without Aaron Rodgers is the only thing that I want to see, because the argument will go nowhere, and it'll be. I just want to see it. Hopefully, it'll happen. Right. Hopefully, if my prayers are answered, it'll happen. But I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, and the flip side of it is now, we were talking about how they're going to lose. Let's say that, unfortunately for us, they actually win and get to another Super Bowl. And let's say the Packers win that Super Bowl. Do you guys think that Rodgers departs kind of on top, or does he come back? However that works out for them to, say, hey, well, we just won a title. I can still play, obviously. I want to defend this thing. I think him and Green Bay find a way, especially if they do win it this year, for him to hang out for another year, at very least another year or two.
Nope. I think he's done.
See, the main reason why
either way, he's done with the loss, with the win.
I think the way that when he and Adams both posted the Last Dance picture together,
right?
The way that the Chicago Bears ended, or the Chicago Bulls. That is
right.
Very vastly different. I'm sorry to any Bulls. I'm very sorry about that. Anyways, the way that they ended out on top, I think if anything, that's how Rodgers will want to go out with Green Bay. And I mean, that's I think how I think it's done either way. I think that way they're done.
Okay. Yep.
Adams, I think he wants out too. So I mean, it's. I just want Green Bay to. I want them to hurt. They've had 30, 40 years.
I'm okay with. They've had 30, 40 years. I think, like mid 80s.
They've had
Magic Man.
They went right from Brett Favre, legendary quarterback, to Aaron Rodgers, legendary quarterback, with maybe 1-2 years of like discomfort before they were back on top.
Yep.
I want them to feel the pain that I feel every single year. Okay, it's all that I want. I don't ask for much in life.
Well, and as much as I hate to admit it too, they got a pretty good front office up there that, definitely knows what they're doing. And, that shows on the field too. And that's a big part of this as well. So, I mean, that's why that Vikings GM pick is really huge as well. As we got some catching up to do to them goofballs to the east of us.
Bastards.
True. I mean, at least we don't claim that we are quote unquote, part owners of a team.
Yeah, we're not that dumb.
No, that's the greatest, what I call one of the greatest jack moves in history. I mean, honestly, man, hey, give us $300 to $500. We're going to give you this worthless piece of paper that you can hang in your office at man caves and technically call yourself an owner. I mean, come on. It's great for them because they buy into it. I mean, they raise a lot of money doing that stuff. But man, I mean, these people are, I'm an owner. Well, no, you're not. So
you're an idiot.
See, that offer actually that extends to anyone who actually wants to become a part owner of Beer Belly Sports. It starts at the low price.
There you go. Exactly.
It starts at the low price of
$5,000.
Exactly, and then if you want, you can be a part owner. Yeah, go ahead. I'll drop my Venmo.
Love that idea.
Why? Because we can get an office there.
The wheels are turning now. I'm trying to think of a promo for that where I can use that to the greater good of us. Vince, thank you so much for joining us. You're the man. You're elite. I love talking to you. I love seeing your photos. You're one of the guys who joined when we had North Star Sports Podcast at X Golf in Woodbury, and we had a good time there, and I miss that.
I do too, man. I do too. So, hey, like I said, the Sports Gov is going to be snowbirding it down here to Arizona here for a couple months here in a couple weeks. But when I get back in April, let's get you guys down for some ribs and hang out.
Oh, yeah.
And, maybe a little live show from the Metro for old time's sake.
I'm in. All right. That's Vince Wright. He's the man, the myth, the legend, the sports governor of sports here in Minnesota. And he has a podcast every Tuesday night called Sports Done Right. Vince, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, fellas. Thanks for having me on again. You guys have a great week and take care up there. And I can't wait to get back up to the fine land we call Bemidji, Minnesota.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
All right. You guys have a good one. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Have a good day, Vince.
So, Vince is one of he's smart. He's a guy that knows his shit and he knows what he's doing and he lives and breathes football too.
Yeah, no, he's smart. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. He's a smart guy. He is such a cool dude to talk to as well. Like there, again, there's I'm glad there's a lot of people that mainly that but we know that can come on and aren't just aren't dickheads who come on the show and who are able to actually talk, have a conversation, and again, last week with Jake, who doesn't really know me that well, but then having able to have a conversation, and like Vince, who, again, just a super nice guy who personally doesn't know me that well. I don't know him super well personally. You do, of course.
Yeah.
And he's just a nice guy to talk to. He's like, it's nice to find those people, not just people who got their stick up their ass and who think that they're hot shit. So no, I love having Vince on.
We need to have. Well, he's going to do a lot more stuff for us when our website is up and running. I did, like I told you last week, said I was going to do stuff with the website. Did do shit.
I mean, things happen.
Yeah, it happens. More of what the hell did we do last week? I don't remember. We had nothing to do over the weekend. Weekend. We didn't do nothing over the weekend, so I just do. I should have done stuff, but I didn't. And it's one of those things where we both need to be here to work on it.
Yeah,
because I didn't know what you're thinking on it. But anyways, that's inside show stuff. We don't have to worry about that.
Unless you want to become a part owner for the low price of $5,000.
Low price.
You know what? Even like $50, even like $100. You know, like around that. Like if you want to,
I wouldn't even care. If you want some type of amount.
Yeah, if you just want to give us money, you can be a part owner of Beer Belly Sports. You want to be a CEO, CFO, whatever the fuck it's called.
You can put your own job titles, as long as it's like we can't get fired.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, you can have the title, you just have no power. Exactly like it is being an owner of the Packers.
All right. When we come back, it is Misconnections, one of my favorite segments that I love doing. It's elite. So
really?
Yeah, it is elite because you do it. That's why.
True. That is true.
All right, we're back a little bit. You are listening to Beer Belly Sports.
Sweet city woman, I can see your face, I can hear your voice, I can almost touch you. Sweet city woman, on the banjo and me, we got a feel for singing.
One of the best podcasts in the world. Kind of. It's just another half-assed Beer Belly Sports Show.
Hey there, all you meanie sultans. If you haven't checked out the 7th Avenue Pizza in Minneapolis, well, you should there, bud. Premium thin crust frozen pizza. 7th Avenue produces the highest quality, best tasting frozen pizza available in the market today. If delicious toppings is what you crave, look no further. Their thin crust pizzas are made with the highest quality ingredients, including spicy sauces, hearty meats, and an assortment of Wisconsin cheeses. We promise no Packer fans touch them. The meats are real too, no fillers. Now in Bemidji at Lucan's Village Foods. Go to 7thavenuepizza.com to find a location near you. 7th Avenue Pizza, before pizza became trendy.
Urban and Gerbert's most mouth-watering sandwiches are back. The Neuron, barbecued pulled beef brisket with a hot and gooey mac and cheese topped with citrus chipotle barbecue sauce. And the Beacon, a beef brisket topped with chipotle citrus barbecue, cherrywood bacon, and cheddar cheese. Two delicious taste bud tempting concoctions that are sure to please. And don't forget, it's soup season with creamy cheddar cheese and broccoli, hearty cheddar and wild rice, bold and spicy Southwest chili, all at Urban and Gerbert's, located on the corner of 15th and Bemidji Avenue.
That's what I love about small towns. We're a little bit touchy about our property, and we ain't shy about it either. You ever try to tell somebody what to do from a small town if you happen to be standing in their yard? That does not work out good at all. Go, well, hey, man, I live next door. Y'all's music's really loud. I just need you to turn it down a little bit. Whoa, what'd you say? What'd you say? Oh, hell no, no. I got this. No, listen. You listen to me. This is my house. I can do what I want over here, buddy. This is private property. I own everything over here, including the sound waves. How you like that, Apples? Crank it up, Randy. God forbid you call the cops on them, man. You call the cops on those dudes for the next 2 hours. This is all you're going to hear. It's my house. He can't tell me what to do in my house. If I want to keep a bobcat in my coat closet, I'm going to do that. If I want to use a flamethrower to light my garbage on fire, I'm going to do that. It's my house. I know the law. That's what happens when we get arrested. We all turn into amateur lawyers. You can't come in here without a search warrant. It's in the Constitution, man. 44th Amendment says I have the right to do whatever the hell I want in my house. All right? You see, I'm the speaker of this house, and you don't get a vote. And I know my Miranda rights. I know them. Hey, I have a right to remain silent. Yes, I also have a right to tell you to kiss my ass. I know the law. My daddy is a bailiff.
This is Beer Belly Sports with Jeffrey and Jared Hastings, a.k.a. the Meanie Sorted Ad.
Welcome back to Beer Belly Sports. It's time now for Missed Connections.
Is this thing on?
Yes, it's on.
Goodwill, Apple Valley today. January 12th, Apple Valley. You looked at me, and I looked at you. Were there sparks? Are you a Craigslist creeper like I am? Lol. Laughing crying emoji. John Edward Dodd, where are you? Dots, lots of dots. Robbinsdale. Where are you? Does anyone know him? Looking. New Auburn. Looking to see if anyone is up for some adult fun between Rice Lake and Chippewa. WM here. They sound hot. Late fall. Bemidji. We chatted this fall. I was busy in the fields. You drive bus. You also travel from out of town for this job. Lost touch. Would like to get back in touch. Tell me what crop I was harvesting. Look forward to catching up. North Fargo friend. Trailer court. Looking for a friend who I visited a couple years ago. We had a few drinks, me and you, and your husband. Then you and him gave me a tour of the back room. You worked at Pizza Hut. I was wearing a Cowboys jersey in the photo. Matt?
What?
Matt's trying to fuck. Anyways. Football bud. Fargo. Secretly took care of a college football player the past 4 years. Anytime he needed some attention, his girlfriend was back in their hometown.
Oh, okay.
He's graduated now, and I'm looking for someone to take his place. We both needed this kept quiet, so it worked out well. Straight guy wanted. Looking for a straight guy that loves getting good head and is willing to let a guy do it.
What the fuck?
Fuck, I lost it. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Sorry. Deffy 12-8 Dad. I am not one to do this type of stuff, but here I am. There was a dad at Deffy 12-8. Rock rival jeans. Something is there, and I should have acted on it then. Reply with the red Kia Soul. You waved
Kia
at me.
Soul.
Superior Vision Pro. You waved at me when I was leaving. I want meet you. Tell me what color car I was driving. Do you want one more?
Yeah, give me one more.
Lady Smith Walmart.
Ooh,
I could have swore you were checking me out. That was it.
I like it.
Nice.
I was not there in the Cowboys.
Liar.
I wasn't. It was.
Don't fucking
It
lie to
wasn't
me.
First of all,
don't lie to me.
First of all, one, I do not have a Cowboys jersey.
Do not fucking lie to me.
Well, I shouldn't say I don't have a
Don't
Cowboys
fucking
jersey
lie to me right
anymore.
fucking now.
Jeez, are you okay over there?
I swear to fuck, don't you fucking lie to me.
Why you gotta be like this? Why do you gotta yell at me? I'm just a
Why you gotta
person.
be so rude.
Okay. Anyways, what the fuck was I gonna say to you? Oh, I told you a story beginning when you were walking in, and I was gonna tell it on air.
Oh yeah, tell it.
So I was out at work today, and well, now you messed it up.
No, it's because the temp is too high in the camera. That's
that what
was.
it is?
Yeah, the camera's just too hot.
Okay.
I'll let it cool down for a second.
We had. I went into a bar. Today,
Okay.
And it's one of your actually favorite bars that you like to go. It's not your first favorite. It's your second favorite bar.
Corner?
It is.
Ah.
And I got this shot called Dropkick Jesus.
Oh, that's what it's fucking called. Oh, did Stubby just give it to you?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Not one, but two of them.
Oh, what a fucking guy. Ah, those are good.
And I decided, by this time, I didn't even eat yet. Didn't even eat. So
I need to write this down so I remember. Dropkick Jesus. Thank you.
It's SoCo and the blue can for energy drink. Can't think what the hell. It's not Red Bull. It's not a Monster. It's not Full Throttle. Can't think what the fuck it's called.
I know what you mean.
But yeah, it's just the first one did hit me. Like, oh, that's pretty good. The second one, I was like, oh, that's really good. And then I left to go across the street to the next bar, and all of a sudden, I walk out. I'm like, oh no, I am what you call it, not feeling too good right now. So I had to tell a couple of my friends, and they were like, "Oh man, Gaffrey's already drunk on a Wednesday. That's a fucking shock. It's only 1 o'clock." Generally, I do TikTok lives and get a little pre-gaming it before anything. But anyways, yeah, it just I got really buzzed, and I had to go get some Mickey D's.
That's not. That's a good. That does tell me you were drunk. Then you were fucked up. Then.
I was okay.
You literally got Mickey D's. Please stop.
Oh, I had to get Mickey D's. Why wouldn't you?
Because you were drunk.
Well, I was a little intoxicated. So I don't know why you got to yell at me.
I didn't even yell.
I barely raised my voice. Thanks, Jackie Moon. You said F-I-C, Jackie. Anyways, so how about that Vikings game last week?
Fun game.
Fun game.
I would have kind of. Again, if you're wondering why, I did get a Cousins jersey there.
Was it cheap? Was it on sale?
There was like a 20% last game sale.
Oh, sweet.
But I was looking for a Jefferson jersey. There was not there.
Damn it.
They were all there. I also would have been happy with a Danielle Hunter jersey.
That would have been sweet.
Those also are not there.
Damn it.
So they had Cousins, and you know what? I like Cousins. I like him as a quarterback. We already talked about this last week with Jake. No, right?
Yep.
You know what? I know it ain't the Gophers thing, but I'd row the boat with Cousins.
Row the boat, Sky Ma.
Row the boat, Sky Ma. Go Vikings.
Skull Vikings.
But yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game. I'm glad I went. I did not end up going to the 10K.
I was going to ask you about that if you were going to go to that or not.
I was going to, but we got there kind of late, and we had to go to the Mall of America. So we after we got done there.
You had to?
Yeah, we had to.
Why?
That's where Hooters is.
Oh yeah, that's right.
By that time we didn't, and the game already started, and unfortunate. I would have liked to go, but I'll save that for when both me and you, both of us, can go.
When we go see Vince, and we can go down and go to a Rip Fest, and try to go see 10K because they're all generally within the same area.
No, the cities are all the fucking same.
Yeah, that's true too. So there's that.
If you live in the cities and you say that you guys are different, you're fucking wrong. Don't tell me you live in Apple Valley and tell me that it's different than another place in the cities. You're all the same with minor differences. I'm sorry.
Okay, I think that White Bear Lake is way different compared to Apple Valley or Rosemont.
And that's okay. That's okay. They're all within 10 minutes of each other, 20 minutes of each other.
Okay, more 20, 30.
Like within that area of each other. 30 minutes, and you might be in Bagley from here.
You would be, actually. About 30,
45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's around there. So,
where's Bagley?
You're in the cities. You're in the same place. If I say something about the cities, I'm talking about you. Don't think I'm talking about someone else. So get your head out of your ass.
Also, the mandates for masks go into effect for St. Paul and Minneapolis. That sucks if you go to a sporting event, so good luck.
Oh, that's when I had to wear a mask at the game.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't nobody when they sat down wore them. They were just wearing it around. And thank God I have my comfortable Under Armour mask, not sponsored. But I used to work in Under Armour, we had to buy these really comfortable masks. So anyways, they bought that. It was a pretty good time.
So there's that.
Yep.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us today. Anything else? Quick?
Well, you never asked me what I learned.
Well, we don't have very much time. We have 50 seconds.
Oh, my God.
Sorry.
No, just ruined tradition.
I'm so sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry. All right, well, that'll do it for us. Thank you to the writer, producer, on-site engineers, known as both of us. In the words of Ray Green, keep your stick on the ice. Okay, bye.
Watch out for deer.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye. Have a great time.
Well, see you later.
You like that? You like that?
We'll probably sit around and cook some soups and eat bread and desserts and just get all fat and sassy.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Minnesota!
I thought for once the show really caught fire.
I thought it burned itself out, same as always.
Congratulations, you just finished another episode from Beer Belly Sports. And since you're still here, let me tell you, you can follow Beer Belly Sports on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, and usually about 1 a.m. after the diner has just shut down.